Hi and welcome to this special edition of my driving test video where I'm going to drive the worst test route I've ever seen in my life. Now bear in mind I've done over 500 driving tests. This is without doubt the worst route I've ever had. It's so bad that the word got around amongst instructors and learners and nobody booked tests here, and the centre actually closed down about 2005 because it was so bad, it had such a bad reputation, nobody wanted to come here. Most of the route is the same as it was, however some of the roads have changed. For example, now in front of you can see some traffic lights. They weren't there originally. It used to be just an open crossroads. It was just giveaway lines, it was a free-for-all. So I'm going to drive the route now and I'll give you lots of funny stories along the way. There used to be a big bus garage over there, now it's a Tesco's, so that used to cause a lot of trouble because you had loads of buses coming in and going out. There's one point I'll give you before we begin, and that is the reason it's such a bad test route is that on most roads you should be able to know you shouldn't have to know the route, to drive it. You should be able to drive any route without knowing it. If you don't know these roads, you haven't got a chance of doing it. There's one place in particular where you're going towards a roundabout and you're asked to go ahead. You go in the left lane and then suddenly, without any warning whatsoever, it just turns into a motorway lane, and if you're in that lane you're going to be stuck, and I'll tell you a funny story about that later on. Anyway, let's get going. So this is the old Quinton test route. This is a route I had a few times. It was an awful route and you'll see why soon. So first of all, left of the lights. Okay, so there never used to be traffic lights here. It used to be just an open crossroads, like I was saying. It was awful. I think the only good thing about Quinton Test Centre was that it had a toilet. That was the only redeeming feature, because not many centres have toilets, but this one did. Okay, so we're just going to carry on down this road. And already you can see why people have trouble. You get people pulling out of places like that and then turning like that. So next roundabout we're going to go ahead, second exit. You notice these aggressive taxi drivers speeding past trying to cut me up. This is exactly why people failed here, because now I've got to hold the right back and I can't go. So I've got him going out first, otherwise he's going to kill himself. So I'll let him go. And now he's decided to go right, which he wasn't doing when he came up. But you see how bad this route, this area is. This road now, what's the speed limit? Yep, well, a lot of people think it's 40, it's not, it's only 30. It looks like a 40. There are other roads around this area which are 40, but it's 30. It's really confusing because it looks just like a 40. As you come the other way, it used to be 40, but not anymore. So next roundabout we go left. Now at the moment we've had nothing too bad, but just wait till you see what's coming up later on. You won't believe how hard this route is. Okay, so this one, when we go around the corner, there are nearly always parked cars in the left lane. The problem is that people behind don't give you a second. As soon as people see a learner car, they turn their brain off and just start to try and overtake whatever you're doing. So even if you're driving well, you get people behind cutting you up. So we'll go around the bend and you've got to go straight to the right lane. Normally that'll be bad, but on this road if you don't, you're stuck. Now it's 40, which doesn't make much sense because this road is narrower than the last one, but that's the way it is. The traffic lights are going to turn left. These lights are a complete nightmare. Going left is not so bad, but if you try going right on these, it's awful. You might have seen that in the introduction to the video. I turned right and the car went the wrong way. So anyway, left on the lights. So nothing too bad so far, but quite soon it's going to get quite bad, don't worry about it. This junction's changed quite a bit. It's a lot easier than it used to be because the lanes are a bit narrower in the past. Okay, so when you go left here, what's the speed going to be? Yep, still 40. But it is confusing because some are 40, some are 30, but they all look the same. There's also now this extra lane on the left which didn't used to be there, and you've got to kind of move over. Then you've got this car turning, there's a van parked further on, so I'll move over. There's a lot of work, what I call work, on this driving test route. Some routes you can sit back and relax, well not on this one. Got to change back before the lights. If those lights change, very hard to get back. Speed camera coming up. A lot of people used to fail here because they were speeding and the examiner had to brake, and you've messed up your test straight away. But it's 40, so we're okay. The speedo is on the left of the windscreen if you haven't seen my videos before. It's just about halfway up, you see it says about, what, 35 at the moment. Okay, so next thing, roundabout, we're going to go ahead. But guess what? It's not a roundabout. Although it says it is, it's not. It isn't a roundabout. So we're going to go straight on. It's actually the third exit, but you don't have to give way. So that car ahead is braking. You don't have to give way. So you've got to brake down to 3. Nothing tells you not to give way until you get here. See the signs. Now you realise you can go. Again, the van behind is being aggressive, trying to go round. Just want to cut me up. So you have to hold back, let them in. And if you don't, you fail. If you do, then, well, you know, you don't want to. So next road, you're going to go straight on. You get lots of lights, confusing sign here where it just splits and goes up to the left. The van's braking, swerving all over the road because he doesn't know what he's doing. So I'm going to go towards the motorway. This is the part I mentioned a few minutes ago. So that van is now literally driving in the back of the car. It's so aggressive around here. I don't know what it is about this area. I hate driving in this area. It's my most detested area. This is a 40 road. I'm doing 40 now. This car's doing about 60 odd. I mean, people just go way over the limit. It used to be 70 down here, and it was changed because too many people were killed. You see where the barriers have been dented, people flying off the road. You see the signs ahead, slow down, people don't listen, and they come off the road. But it is 40, I am doing 40. The speed in the window is slightly off what this one says, so I am doing 40 now. And it still says slow down, but it's gone off now, that's good. So next roundabout I'm going to go ahead, until the van behind me speeding again, so he's now going to overtake aggressively. Which is why I hate this area. So straight on first exit, same way as the van's going, you just couldn't be bothered to wait. So it's the first exit on the roundabout, which is unusual to have a head first exit around here. So left lane's good, coming down the hill, braking, quite an open one, off we go. Now this is where the test gets really bad. There is absolutely no way of you knowing this, but if you don't get into the right lane now, you're on the motorway. How would you know that? I asked an examiner once, and he said it's clearly signed. Well, let's have a look, is it clearly signed? I can't see any signs saying motorway, can you? Where does it say left lane motorway? It doesn't. There's a roundabout sign. Where's the motorway sign? It doesn't say. And they wouldn't tell you, if you weren't in the right lane by now, you were going on the motorway. That doesn't say motorway, it says there is a motorway. It doesn't say left lane motorway. Still doesn't say left lane motorway. But if you're in the left lane now, suddenly it says motorway only. Great, so you're stuck on the motorway. And you weren't allowed to come back over, by the way. If you're in the left lane now, if you move back into this lane now, they'd fail you for not planning ahead. But you couldn't plan ahead because there were no signs to tell you. This part people used to fail on because you see that thing on the left there, that's where police and whatever have inspections. There's a very small keep clear on the floor in a moment, which is just before the lights. It's a really stupid place because if you stop on it, of course you fail, and that's when people used to fail. It's like where the Jeep is now, they've got ahead, can't stop there, could stop here but not there. It's so precise as to where you had to stop. You had to be really precise on that. And again, more aggressive drivers. The van behind again went through a red light. I had a learner in once here and he get written off by a van doing that. He came off the roundabout, he couldn't be bothered to wait, and he smashed us to pieces. So now this is going towards Hales Owen. What's the speed on this road? Any idea? Most people haven't got a clue because it's so badly signed. Well, it's the same as it was before, so it's still national for now. But I'm not going to do that just for now. You got these roads on the left coming up. Some of the routes from Quinton used to go down there. You don't want to go down that road, believe me. If you drive down there, it's still national speed limit for that road. and it's terrible. It's a single track lane, it's national speed limit, so down to 50, did you see the sign? Most people didn't. A lot of people failed there because they didn't slow down. You've now got a garage on the left where a lot of things come out from. It's quite a busy garage. You've also got these lights. Now there used to be a roundabout at the end of this road. There still is a roundabout now, but it's a lot better than it used to be. It used to be a split lane roundabout, which is when there was, I think, one lane going left, then a concrete lump, and a lane going ahead, then a lane going right, and then another concrete lump. And if you were asked to go left, but you didn't get in the lane early enough, you're stuck going the wrong way, which takes you about a massive detour. Anyway, so just rolling down the road. What's coming up in the distance now? Can you see it? Yep, 40 sign. Also a dead pigeon on the floor there, but a 40 sign. So a lot of people used to miss that. And you know, it's easy to miss if you've got lorries next to you and fail again. Anyway, next roundabout we're going to go left, and that'll be the first exit. So this is a lot easier than it used to be. It says on the sign there, look, new road layout. It used to be awful on this road. It was the case now where if you didn't get the correct lane now, you were stuck going the wrong way, and you couldn't just turn around. There was nowhere to turn around. So keep clear again, keep well back. And I'm going to go left, first exit. Most people have already failed the test by now, several times, so not many people made it this far. So off I go. In a moment I'd say just second left, just after the White House. And people used to say, what do you mean the White House? I thought they meant, like, you know, where the president lives. And I said, no, a house that's white, a little white house. Oh, okay. Yeah, some people really did think you meant the White House, stupid people. Anyway, so second road on the left. So it was 40 there, now it goes down to 30 almost straight away. And then when you come around the bend, it's going to change again. I get another aggressive van driving right behind me. So it now changes to national. This is not a nice national road, it's a nice view, but if I speed up a little bit, the curve on the left in the moment is horrible. It sticks out really badly. So people used to go like this fast, flying down the road. It's much too quick, I'll slow down. It's far too fast to be going national down here. Notice how the road goes down and up. I don't know on the video if you can see that, but it suddenly goes up to left really quickly. So you've got to keep really wide. Maybe come down to third. It's quite bad if you're slowing down, any horses or anything. Nubs or pickup. Still really bad curve. I had 2 tyres blown on this curve on test. Keep really wide, very narrow road. Accelerate wherever you can see. And it's just slow on the floor, because in a moment you're going to get to a little village, and it's back to 30. Yeah, that roundabout back there, I'll tell you a story that an examiner told me once. He was on a test and the people never got in the correct lane. So they ended up going up the slip road to the motorway. Now the problem is, you can't reverse down the slip road, so they couldn't go back. The people can't drive on the motorway because learners aren't allowed on motorways, and the examiner couldn't drive the car because they're not insured. So the examiner, this wasn't my people by the way, this was someone else, they had to phone the police and get a police escort down the motorway with a learner. But even worse than that, when they come off the other end, the learner had to complete the test, because if the examiner had abandoned the test, then they would have had to walk back from quite a way away, miles away. So he had to do his whole test, knowing that he'd obviously failed and it's stupid for going down the motorway. And the examiner was not very happy about that. So yeah, that's how daft that is. Okay, did you just spot the sign there? What speed is it now? Yeah, 60. That sign's about 25-30 feet in the air, hidden behind a hedge. If you didn't see it, you'd fail. I had the people who failed on that. Just to show you how bad this route was, at the end of the road we'll go left. The end of the road is not that obvious to see. People here used to do emergency stops skidding across the end of the road, especially people like that pulling out from the right. So, end of the road left. See if you can spot the end. Okay, so it's quite easy now because of the cars in front. If those cars aren't there, it's not easy to tell. That giveaway sign has not been there long. It's a very hard one to see, so not an easy one at all. I had a people once who'd been driving for 10 years illegally, and he came to me and said, look, I've been driving illegally for years, I know what to do, but I just want to get legal. And he was actually quite a good driver, just the usual faults, you know, being a bit too fast, whatever. This bump is massive as well, by the way. Go over this too fast and guess what? Yep, failed your test. Really massive bump, you have to go good positioning on that. Anyway, this person who'd been driving for 10 years did a route round here, this route we're doing now. And he failed because he didn't see that speed sign back there, the national speed, and he went too slow. So I said to him, never mind, we'll do it again. So next road on the right. So we came and did it again. We did the route as a mock test route. So I've got a lot going on at the moment. This car behind us, a bit closer, we'll pull up. Yeah, we did the route as a mock test route, and he messed it up. Yeah, he just got it wrong. Again, even though he'd failed his test on it, he got the same thing wrong about not doing the speed. So I said, okay, let's go and do it again. He did it again, and he failed again on the same thing, even though he knew it was there, and he was fuming at the end. He said, how did I do that? Why was I so stupid? And yeah, he failed on that. So even experienced drivers were bad. In all the years I ever took learners here, I had one pass, which was a woman called Stephanie. She was really good. She really passed the test great, and I couldn't believe it when she passed. He's like, wow, you've actually passed at Quinton. After her, I had about 20 fouls in a row, but I just refused to go there. It was such a bad test centre, I just wouldn't go there. It was impossible. How a learner is expected to drive this route, I don't know. If you want a challenge, come and do this route, because it's not easy at all. I'm just going to clean the windscreen there. Okay, next thing that used to cause trouble is, I think it's just here. Was it here? I haven't been around here for years, sorry. It's just here, I think. That girl with all the toilet rolls. Yeah, they used to pull up here and do reverse around the corner. I'm going to go into the road to show you how bad the corner was. See how narrow that was? And this here is quite busy because there's a little dead end. There's some kind of nursing home or something next to here, I don't know what it is. And people used to come down here all the time and then go back out like this, like I am. And yeah, what a terrible reverse around the corner. This test route, by the way, was in the old days when you used to do two manoeuvres and no independent driving. So imagine trying to reverse around this corner. Quite difficult. Okay, so end of the road we go right. In a moment there's some quite unusual things come up that people used to fail on. Okay, don't let this video put you off because this is an old test route, remember. It's no longer there. And they don't make them like this anymore, thankfully. So what's the next thing coming up? Yeah, mini roundabout. These signs didn't used to be there. There were no signs at all when this was a test route. You come up to the roundabout, you couldn't even see it, and then suddenly you're giving way. Okay, another thing now people used to fail on. This is quite a nice area in terms of the view. People used to get distracted by the view. This is Frankly Reservoir, I think it is. Yeah, so people used to get distracted here looking at the nice view there, only to go off the road. Just going to pull up on the left. Okay, so I'm just going to reset the camera, then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Just been for a quick swim, so let's get going again. Spot the speed on this road, by the way. Well, this is where they used to do emergency stops, believe it or not. And at the time they did it in a national speed limit zone, part of this road. It's still national now. But you get lots of learners down here because it's quite a wide open area. If you come down here at night, you get some other things going on, but I won't tell you about that. Quite a wide open road, quite an easy road in a way, but lots of potholes. road we go right. So quite a rural area from being close to the city to being in the middle of the countryside. Really bad view on this one. You can't see on the video, but the view is terrible. So you've got to really come in and go. That bend is awful, you can't see around it all. And there's another one in a moment, just the same. So nice and slow looking out for horses. There's a church I think on the left here. A lot of people used to miss this bend and fail because it's not that obvious. You might think, oh, it's obvious there's a bend there. It's not. When you do it for real, it looks different on the video. You can't see that bend. There's not really much of a warning, or didn't used to be. What's the problem now? Yep, single track lane. Well, you can get two cars up really, but it's very narrow. You get lots of horses around here, lots of people walking in the road, so keep the speed right down. And at the moment, yep, it's still national speed limit, it's still 60 down here. Remember, limits are limits, not targets. You don't have to do them, and that's the point. But you would know what it is 60 down this road unless you're mad. So end of the road, we'll go right. Terrible crossroads, people used to foul on this all the time. Can't see a thing, it's awful. So it's always a very hard test route, it's just one thing after another. Most test routes have one or two things that are a bit tricky. This whole route is tricky, and there's still some bad things we haven't even got to yet. Okay, so crawling up, looking. Terrible view. I can see now, so I'll go. What's the speed again? Yep, still 16. No signs for a long time here. Last one was way back before that reservoir. So, straight on. You only do 60 down here. I'm going to squeeze off the gas brake a little bit. A really bad hill there. You get some people who park on this road, believe it or not. And you get it's an adverse camber. What's an adverse camber? Well, if you don't know, it's just when the road it doesn't slope in the way the usually slopes. So it feels like your car's being pulled over the road. You can ask your instructor about that. Just speed up again. We're now going back to the bit where the big bump was, so you're going to go back yourself on this route. People who didn't see the end of the road there, they used to skid out the end. I had that a couple of times, like I say, the examiner had to brake and the people kind of skidded out the end of the road. When this test centre was open, I was quite a new instructor. It would be interesting to go back and do a route now and see if was the route really that bad, or was it because I was a new instructor and I wasn't teaching as well. I don't know. It'd be quite interesting to see. I haven't done a test here for years because it's been closed. But yeah, maybe someone would like to do a test with me from this area. If you want to come and do a test here, I can change the route a bit. See what you make of it, see how you do. Yeah, the other manoeuvre you would normally do, you did a reverse around a corner like I did before. I didn't bother doing it, but you could do that. You would do any other manoeuvre around here. It could be parking, there's a road down here I can go do some parking on. Maybe this road you can park on a car, but I'm not going to do that. Just because there's no point, I don't need to show you manoeuvres. And they've got the speed bumps here to slow people down, because unlike in my other videos, these are to slow you down. But the car behind doesn't want it, so again you've got to deal with all this aggression. Next roundabout, there's a few ways you could go because the test did change, the routes are variable, they can change them whenever they want. But on this one, I'm going to go left first exit. So this part is actually the easiest part of the route because there's not much happening here, it's quite a standard kind of area. But just wait a few minutes and don't worry, the bad stuff's going to come back. What's the speed on this road? Yep, 30. How do you know it's 30? Because you've got street lights. Generally speaking, if street lights are there, it's 30. It doesn't always work. It's if they're up to about 200 yards apart, but it's pretty much you can tell it's 30 because you wouldn't be doing 60 down here. But this is an area here people used to file on. Notice to slow down there, it's quite tight, it doesn't look it, but it's quite tight there. This crossing's quite hidden if you get cars parked on a crossing. And it's quite a dangerous bit of road that. This roundabout comes up quite quickly. I'm going to go left on this first exit. You could call it ahead, but I'll call it left because to me that's to the left. It doesn't matter matter if you go left ahead, it's up to you, it's not no big difference. So in a moment there's a really awkward bit coming up. It's actually changed, so it's not so bad now as it used to be. What it's going to be is there's a road where you have to go right, but you have to go right from the right lane, which might sound obvious, but the left lane does go right. So normally you will go right from the left lane, but if you go right from the left lane, you've then got to go left after that. So that's confusing. It's right then ahead, and the exam will say go right then go ahead, and they're sort of saying to you, they're trying to say don't go right then left, but they couldn't say that because you gave the lane away, so they said go right then go ahead. It's really confusing, but in a moment you'll see what I mean. I hope I go the right way. I haven't been over this way for years, about 8 years or so I think this is the right way. I'm pretty sure there's a roundabout at the end, I think. Yeah. These roads down here, you used to turn off and do manoeuvres down there, like a 3-point turn down there and then come back. So that's another reason why this test video might be a bit shorter than real, because I'm not going to go and do the manoeuvre. The manoeuvres are done on other videos, you can see me doing them on there, so there's no point in me doing them again. So the roundabout right towards Quinton, and you're kind of heading back now, but don't relax because don't worry, there's still bad things coming up. Okay, so this roundabout, nothing too bad. Well, the pub's gone, used to be a pub over there years ago, I wonder when that's gone. It's been knocked down. Was it a petrol station, I think? Yeah, petrol station, I can't remember. It says 30 new speed limit, well it used to be 30 I thought before. So this is one where at the end, we're going to pull up here for the sake of pulling up, like you would on a test. This is the road at the end where you've got to go right then ahead, not right then left. Again, it's changed now, it's a lot better than it was, but yeah, let's just get it done. What did I do wrong there, do you know? So I made one mistake there. Let me know if you can spot it. That sign's telling me slow down, I'm only doing what, 26. So some of those signs come on whatever you do. There was a thing on the news about that. They had this man with a Zimmer frame crawling past it about 1 mile an hour walking, and he'd come flashing up, slow down, slow down. So yeah, those signs are not always that accurate. Some are speed activated if you go too fast to come on. Some are just, they just come on whatever you do. Yeah, I remember this bend used to cause problems. I can't remember exactly why, but I know I had a couple of people have trouble on this bend. I think he used to go down that road on the left, he used to do manoeuvres down there and then come back out. But I remember something about some people having trouble there. Okay, this is going back about 7, 8 years now, something like that. So this is the part I've been talking about where you notice you can't go ahead. Some people did try and go ahead there, you can't. You might think, oh, it's obvious, but when you're on a test, you wait and see, it's not the same. So I'm going to go the way it can be done. Actually, it can't be done, so it's changed. It's now changed again, because now there's an Hazardous there. So what I'll do is go into Hazardous and come out again. So it hasn't got any better. So in the old days, this used to be right turn from this lane, now it's not. So never mind. So that car's going right ahead, you shouldn't. This lane's only if you're going ahead. This is what I always tell pupils. If you go the wrong way, go the wrong way. Don't ever try and change. So that's proof that I do what I say. I do practice what I preach. I wasn't going to go right there like the car ahead did because that was dangerous. I don't know when the Hazardous appeared, but that wasn't there last time I came here. Anyway, I've gone the wrong way, so I'm going to carry on. Never mind. That's what you've got to show. And there's a subway there as well. Okay, so we're just going to head back out of here. I have had people on tests go into shopping centres by mistake, things like that. It doesn't matter, it's not, not dangerous, is it? Checking everywhere. These places can be dangerous places to drive because people just don't take any regard to the rules, whatever. So left on this one. So it's even though I knew the road, well, I thought I knew the road, but it changed, so there's proof you've got to be on your toes all the time. Yeah, some people in the cars in front keep looking at me. I think they think I'm mad talking to myself, but just pretend I'm talking on the phone or something. Obviously not my phone, handheld, hands-free I mean. So there's around another 10 minutes to go I think of this route. So if you did that on a real test there, you wouldn't fail. I haven't failed for going into Hazardous because I haven't done anything wrong. Yes, I didn't go the way we wanted to go, but that doesn't matter. You don't have to go that way. Don't obviously do this, don't ignore the examiner, but you can actually ignore them and go anywhere you want. And that doesn't matter because, see this bit now, it used to be left lane, left turn only. Where the arrow now is, used to be a bit of concrete there, and now you can go ahead in both lanes. Yeah, going the wrong way does not matter. Don't get worried about going the wrong way. It's only bad if you sit on the left and go right, or you sit on the right and go left. If you just go the wrong way safely, it doesn't matter. This is where I had my first ever pupil on his first ever test. My first test I ever did failed on this. We're going to go right. I think it's the third exit, is it? I think. I love driving places I don't know. It's boring when you know the roads. I love going to new places because it's a challenge. Yeah, this is the way. Now in a moment you've got again the roundabout. There isn't a roundabout. It is, but it's not, because it starts off as one, then you give way to the left as you come onto it. I think it's quite a weird one. But yeah, anyway. Keeping the speed down just so I have more time to think about where I'm going. And I think it's right, I'm pretty sure it's right on the roundabout. There isn't a roundabout. So, I'll get right now. Yeah, it's further on. So, it doesn't look like a roundabout, it's not actually a roundabout, you sort of indicate to the right. But then it sort of becomes a roundabout. Then it sort of changes its mind and isn't a roundabout. So, it's quite a weird one, that. Depending on where you live, you might think, well, that's not weird, but around here you don't get many roads like that. Different areas have different things, different features. So next roundabout we go ahead, and we're almost at the end now. And if you've got this far without getting a fail, then very well done, because I only ever had one who did it without failing. There were times when I had people who were really good. Not like that man who nearly pulled out in this caravan. And I said to them, do you fancy a challenge? Do you want to go to a really hard test centre? And they all said, oh yeah, I'll give that a go. None of them did it, even though they were really good and they passed to other centres straight away. Yeah, some centres are naturally harder than others. A lot of people kind of cheat by going to Scotland. There's nothing in Scotland. You can come out of the test centre and you just drive and drive and drive, and there's nothing ever happens. You cannot even come across another car. But that doesn't really make you a very good driver, does it? Because you can't drive around a city then. I've never been there, but that's what people told me. They said that was easy. I have done road-wise. I've done some tests in Cornwall because I used to live there, and that was a really hard place to drive, I found. You think it's easy. I think Birmingham's easy compared to Cornwall. Okay, so this, if you haven't done any manoeuvres yet, you would pull up and do another manoeuvre here. But we've already done those. I'll pull up just for the sake of pulling up like you would on a test. But yeah, you pull up and do another manoeuvre. Okay, so we're back. I just reset the camera again then because I lost track of how long it had been on. Yeah, so I'm going to go back this way. There's one more thing that people used to fail on, which it always used to get people, even though I told people about this, they'd forget it. See if you can spot it. It's going to come up in the next couple of minutes. See if you can spot what the problem is. Next road on the left. in on this road again if you hadn't done the manoeuvres already. So do you just spot this crossroads? It's an unmarked crossroads, so you've got to slow down, give way to everywhere. You wouldn't believe how many people used to fly over there and not even see it, and it fell straight away, right at the end. He probably already failed about 5 times by then anyway. If that didn't get you, this road will get you, because look at the parked cars down here. It's almost as though, you know, it was known among instructors, you say, oh, do you do Quinton? No way, I ain't going there. No one would touch it. I mean, it did get to the stage where nobody wanted to go there. There was a little group of instructors who live around here who always went there, and of course because it was local, but they weren't too happy when it closed, but the rest of us were. So we're almost back at the test centre now. We're just going to go ahead on the lights and we're back. So there you have it. That's the worst test route I've ever seen, with all the things along the way that used to fail people. Again, this one now, it used to be blank again. So this was at the end, you had to get over this crossroads without the lights. Imagine that with no lights. You had to just work your way over. I'll let it go just because, oh, might as well. And then I'm going to pull up. In fact, so instead of pulling up, I'll show you one more thing, because there's one thing around here which you used to do actually. You didn't finish there, you used to finish this way. So you go down here, you go next road on the right. So I was going to show you this thing that used to catch people out. And guess what it is? It's a roundabout that isn't a roundabout. It's quite a theme around here, roundabouts that aren't roundabouts. So I'll show you from this way, but there are other ways you can approach it from. From this way it is a roundabout, but from the other way it isn't. Because if you came from the right, you just come in and go. And it looks like a roundabout, but it's not, because you went round it and then you come off it. But it's not necessarily a roundabout as such, because it's the end of the road. It looks like a roundabout. So if you came from the right there, you come down and then you just carry on. Weird. So yeah, there you go. That's so yeah, that's Quinton Test Centre for you. So I'm just going to pull up on the left down this road and we'll finish the video off. So just back it up. Okay, so if you enjoyed the video, please comment on it below if you're on YouTube. Please subscribe to my channel by clicking on the box on the page now. Please like the video on here, on Facebook, on Twitter, whatever. You can find all the information on all my different channels on firstdrive.com. And if you want to come and do a test with me, feel free to do that. It's free of charge. It's test@firstdrive.com if you want to email me. One final point before I go. 2 years ago the DSA had this idea where what they're doing now is, instead of doing tests from test centres, they're going to allow you to do them from anywhere. So you can start tests from university, from the libraries. It's been suggested like Halfords are doing it. You can park in the car park at Halfords, the car and bike shop, and start from there. It's also been said that supermarkets are going to have examiners working there, so you can buy tests in the supermarket. Now, what was there on that test route that I went into? The supermarket. It has been rumoured that this test centre is coming back. So, if you really want to try it, it might be coming back soon. But I wouldn't recommend doing it. It's up to you. But make sure you get good training before you do it. So, I wish you luck with lessons. Hope you like my videos. Please get in touch and enjoy the rest of my videos. Enjoy the rest of your day.